On this edition of Lexington Now, historic McConnell Springs, Work Lexington, and food for finds. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of November 29th, 2021. McConnell Springs is the traditional founding spot for Lexington, so we caught up with a local colonial reenactor who played a pivotal role in restoring the historic park. John Hagee.
A little bit of history of the park. So this place was quite a mess, for years and years. It was kind of a dump. And then some people were confused as far as, historians were confused as far as where exactly the historic spot was. They thought it was somewhere else, some thought it was here. So they did some more research, they figured out that it was actually here. And so there was a process where the Friends of McConnell Springs was created, and then they proceeded to buy or have land donated, and then that's where I came into it. So at that time I was part of a local caving club. And so they asked us to help, and so of course our job was to pull things out of the final sink. So we were pulling tires and refrigerators and things like that. Also, we were hoping that there might be some little entrance to something else, and we haven't found that yet, but that's an interesting thing. So anyway, that was in the mid-90s, and then fast forward to the mid-2000s, and became part of the Reenactor Network, and then part of that was building this log cabin here. And that was an interesting process where once I had joined the Friends of McConnell Springs, I noticed that they were kind of struggling with some type of cabin. They originally had an idea of moving a big log cabin from somewhere, so I convinced them that maybe if I had my network of reenactors, if we could dress appropriately and we could get some donations for logs and then end up making our own log cabin, and it would be more appropriate for that first cabin in Fayette County, Kentucky, instead of something that really would have been more appropriate for 50, 100 years later. Of course, with the COVID this past couple of years, that's put a stop to everything. But I found out that there was a niche for somebody who was able to do the proper traditional music from the Revolutionary War, which is actually, it's a very interesting time period because you've got Colonial Williamsburg here in Kentucky, you have Daniel Boone and Simon Kenton, George Rogers Clark, and Indian battles, and then out in the ocean you have pirates. So this time period is a very interesting time to study. And so I found that if I learned the tavern or pub songs and then also enjoy the Celtic and the Appalachian, one of the things I do is I do research to find out this music that came into the mountains in the 1700s with the Scots-Irish. And then they ended up bringing their culture, music, and songs with them. And so one of the things to do is I trace that from back to the 1700s to what came out of the mountains recently and how they have changed and how they're different. So I'll also do some Appalachian music.
A pretty fair maid was in her garden when a stranger came a-riding by. He came up to the gate and called her, said, "Pretty fair maid, would you be my bride?"
Work Lexington is a one-stop shop for job training and employment located at the Charles Young Center. We spoke with Program Director Elodie Dickinson, who filled us in on what it's about.
Hi, my name's Elodie Dickinson, and I am the Director of Workforce and Business Engagement for the City of Lexington in Mayor Gorton's office. And I'm here today to talk about Work Lexington. The Lexington Workforce Resource Center is a partnership between 10 different organizations who are located in Lexington, Kentucky, and they provide job training and job placement for individuals in our community, our residents, and they are here every week at Charles Young Center. Charles Young Center is located at 540 East 3rd Street. Our website is www.lexingtonky.gov/LexWork. You can also reach us at area code 859-258-WORK.
On my unemployment, and that's about it, because the COVID wasn't really actually trying to find a job until this thing blew over. Then once, see a little light at the end of the tunnel, I decided to come back and get back into the job market. You all had a flyer in the mail that I seen that had this address on it, so I just decided to explore to see what was going on down here. Couture was a young lady that I first met when I got here through the doors, and she greeted me and sat down with me and we talked about some of my past job experiences. So she's a vital asset that you all have here. So, and plus she knows some of the people I know too. To get a job, maybe help others find jobs too in the process too that are looking. Feels great. I'm glad to be back after being off for almost 2 years since the pandemic started. So, and it's a new beginning, a new experience for me. It works if you just come on out and do the daggone thing, and we'll get you in there, get you plugged in. So come on out, people. We need you.
It is an amazing program. I was there at the initial opening of the program. I was happy to meet Mr. Eugene and work with Miss Elodie to be able to get some guys out here that really need a second chance, and that's what Right's about. I've been involved since the inception of them coming to the Charles Young Center. I've been working back and forth, going over, checking in daily, and we were so happy to get Mr. Eugene from the program to work for us.
I think it's wonderful. I think pairing up this program with companies like ours that, give a second chance and looking to help establish the veteran community within the workforce is a great opportunity for both of our organizations.
My name is Quentin Dixon, and I'm a resource recovery operator at Waste Management. Well, I started through a program that the city started up 3 years ago. Ms. Dickerson, she welcomed us with open arms and was with us every step of the way, all the 8 weeks we were training. We were able to use trucks from the city, which is also very hard when you're trying to get your CDLs. And they were with us every step of the way. They gave us support. They told us to take our time, even though we only had 8 weeks. And they just been there through everything, and we appreciate that a lot. I knew coming in that there was gonna be high expectations, and everybody really wanted this to work. And all 6 of us, even though some have moved on, completed the program. When you get to Charles Young, you got a lot of people that are going to point you in the right direction. It's very, very important to be patient with them, because just meeting someone coming from wherever you're coming from, it's going to be hard starting out. Just trust, have faith in them that they're going to get you to where you're going.
If you are a job seeker or you're wanting to go back to school, please come by and see us at the Charles Young Center at 540 East 3rd Street, Monday through Thursday. Our phone number for the Work Lexington program is 859-258-WORK, and our email address is work@lexingtonky.gov.
Food for Finds after the break. Welcome back to Lexington Now. Lex Park's annual food drive is back, and it's a great way to help others and take care of your parking citations. Gary Means tells us about Food for Fines.
Food for Fines actually started 8 years ago now. We had heard of a university that did something like that, but there was a city that did Toys for Tickets. I think it was Boston. And a couple of universities had Food for Fines, but back then it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. We went to our board, kind of had a little staff meeting ourselves, and went to our board of directors and showed both options. So, what do y'all think about Food for Fines or Toys for Tickets? And in all their wisdom, they leaned towards Food for Fines, which, not to take away from the toys programs that happen this time of year at all, but really food being a necessity in life. And then it sort of creates this perfect storm. Nobody really likes paying parking tickets, but people like to help people. So it took off back in 2014. We made a couple of changes over the years. At first, we didn't allow it for all parking citations, and then we changed it for all parking citations. But the basis of the program is you can bring in 10 cans of food for $15 worth of tickets, paying off the 15. That ratio comes from most parking tickets at a meter are $15. But you can use it for any ticket or any numbers of tickets. But that's how it works. 10 cans of food gets you $15 off the citation. In the previous 7 years, we've actually brought in over 53,000 meals, 26 tons. That's how that works. Every year, we usually get a couple of tons of food that will come in each year is kind of how that's worked. The largest amount, somebody brought in over 300 cans of food one time to pay off multiple tickets. There's the most expensive ticket in Lexington is if you illegally parked in a disabled parking space. That's $250. So I don't know, that's 72 cans or something like that to get that covered. So we've had those paid for. So it's a lot, and it really makes a big impact. We work with God's Pantry Food Bank, and we've been working with them all these years that we do this program, and it's really great. And one of the comments that I like that we got from one of their users was the variety. So we have people from all over the county and probably outside our county that might shop at different stores. So the variety of food that comes in is pretty incredible. So it's not just corn and green beans, and so someone who really is in need finds a variety of food options when we've got all these barrels of food coming to God's Pantry. This year, our Food for Fines program is running for 4 weeks. We usually start it the Monday before Thanksgiving, which will be Monday, November the 22nd. It'll run through Friday, December the 17th. So during those 4 weeks, usually God's Pantry will come about 2 to 3 times a week to pick up these big 55-gallon barrels, and we'll have 6, 7, 8 of them filled almost every time they come. So it's a pretty incredible flow of donations. So folks can make their donations at the Lex Park office, which is right behind me, located at 122 North Broadway here in Lexington. If you're curious, or you think a family member or a son or daughter maybe might have a ticket that you didn't know about, you can always go online at our website at lexpark.org and just type in the license plate number, and it'll pull up if there's any citations. So if you're curious and maybe you forgot about one, or your significant other might have forgotten about one, that's a great place to go and check that out.
Fall is here and the leaves have come down, and so it's time again for vacuum leaf collection. Rob Allen tells us about this valuable service.
Vacuum leaf collection is a supplemental program to help with water quality and help folks get leaves out of their way. It's to complement the yard waste cart and the brown bags that Waste Management give out. And primarily we have crews with a large vacuum. They come, they do the gutter line. If you have leaves piled in the easement between the sidewalk and the curb, we'll pick them up at the same time, and it goes through what's called an impeller. It gets chopped up and put in the truck and reduced, and that way we keep them out of the storm sewer and keep them from blowing across the neighborhood. We actually take it to our yard waste facility where it gets added to the yard waste and gets turned into organic mulch. The yard waste cart, where they have weekly service, we found that it's really efficient for homeowners to use that along with bags as the primary means. And of course, they can also take leaves out to the Haley Pike yard waste facility if they are a Fayette County resident, and dispose of them for free that way. And of course, they could also hire a private contractor or landscaper, whoever, you know, that does yard work for them. But you know, the vacuum leaf collection's a nifty little extra thing. Folks don't pay extra for it. It's a service that, as I said, we've done since 2012. We work extended hours Monday through Friday and Saturdays, trying to get these up before we get into snow. You go to lexingtonky.gov and you type in your address in the interactive map. It gives you the collection date for your neighborhood, and you set your leaves out either the Sunday night or the Wednesday night before collection starts for your area. You set them in a row or a pile between the sidewalk and the curb. Make sure there's no dead critters, trash, rocks, things that could damage the equipment or hurt employees. And we come by with a big machine, blow them loose and then slurp them up. It's important that folks don't store their leaves in the road. It could cause accidents, which the homeowner would be liable for. They can also get in the storm sewer easier that way. So we ask, once again, between the sidewalk and the curb. If you don't have a sidewalk, you store them next to the roadway, and we'll grab them out of the easement. It started November 8th, and our target finish date is December 17th. But we've also made contingency plans to go through December 31st. This is a supplemental service that we have over 90,000 households to do, so there is like a time frame. And you know, leaf drop is variable. It's dependent upon sunshine, the amount of rainfall we get, whether we're in a drought when frost-like temperatures hit. So we have to pick a start date because we rent equipment, we hire contractors and everything like that. And so folks need to shift their perception as to what is their primary means of disposal. And I'll go back to the gray yard waste cart and the leaf bags. You get a coupon for 10 bags initially. If you need more, you can call LexCall 311 and they'll mail you some additional coupons if needed. And you know, we'll come by and hopefully the timing's right for your particular house, and we'll take care of your leaves.
We're back for a busy post-holiday week on Lex TV with a busy meeting schedule. Remember, for the most accurate and up-to-date information on all city business, check out our website at lexingtonky.gov. Now, here's a look at this week's meeting coverage. And we continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including testing, vaccination, and booster sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.